anything now.
Yeah, right. All right.
Okay, I don't know what happened to Jackie. It looked like she
Oh no.
joined now. No, she just joined. Hi, welcome. My name is Paul Sugarman. This is the Instant Shakespeare Company, and today we're doing a reading of what possibly could have been the very first play that Shakespeare wrote, the second part of Henry VI, because it was first published as the first part of the contention between the houses of York and Lancaster, and it was known that the first part of Henry VI was written after parts 2 and 3. So
Ironside was the first.
Well, it's all contentious, just like this. The subject of this play, contentious.
Yes. So, anyways, Virginia Hammer is the playmaster. So, over to you, Virginia. You can introduce people and get it started.
Hello, everybody. I'm the playmaster mistress. This play's always obsessed me. I put it on. See, I put it on oh yeah, that's a different background. The poster's there in 2008 and everything. And now I'm way too old for this role, but guess what? You know what? I don't care. So, we have 14 of us today. And I, for once, am not going to go on about this play until after we finish the reading, because it's long. And it's just a lot to talk about. It's really a freaking amazing play. And the times that it's about are just amusing. But we'll get started because this play has the most characters, you know, of any of the plays, 63 characters. That's pretty long. It should be a good 3 hours. So let's get started. I welcome, brand new to the group, Nye Victoria. Like I said before, yay, there's Nye Victoria. She's playing Eleanor. And let's just, you want me to introduce you, say your name and you do, or you just want to take turn, just come and say, jump in and introduce. Why don't we just jump in? I'm Virginia Hammer. I'm playing Queen Margaret. Next.
I'm Tony Scheinman, and I'm playing the part of Richard, the Duke of York.
I'm David Palmer Brown, and I'm playing Henry VI.
I'm Eleanor Elizabeth Foreman. I'm playing the Duke of Buckingham and a bunch of other roles.
Actually, if you don't mind, I think if you can you say all the
Of
roles
course I can.
so the audience isn't, confused?
Yes.
Why is everybody stuttering today?
I'm playing first neighbor, Sir John Stanley, Vaux, I guess. I'm playing a lieutenant, and I'm playing Sir Humphrey Stafford, not to be confused with the Duke of Buckingham, who is also a Stafford.
Okay, so you got your hands full. Everybody actually has their hands full in this play. Okay, next.
I'm Mark Gehring.
Go ahead.
I'm Mark Gehring, and sorry.
That's okay. You go ahead. I'll go after you.
You need to call people by name, Virginia, or it's a Zoom.
I'll just call the name. Okay, Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Gehring. My plethora of characters include messenger, petitioner, Bolingbroke, Simcox, neighbor, servant, lord, say, and finally, Edward IV, where I have one line, 8 words.
He becomes the king
in part 3.
Afterwards, yes, right. Okay, Ken, please. Ken?
He's frozen.
Kenny?
He's frozen.
Ken gets frozen sometimes. Okay, we'll come back to him. Clinton, please.
Hi, I'm Clinton Powell. I'm reading Armorer, Spirit, One Crying a Miracle, The Herald, Second Murderer, Walter Whitmore, George Bevis, Richard, and Duke of Gloucester.
All right, Richard, who later becomes Richard III. I just have to say one thing. He's playing Bevis. In the scene, Ken, hold off for a second. Clinton is playing Bevis, whatever, in that scene with Holland. But every time you scroll through the script, you see that Bevis. I swear to God, I always want to think it's Beavis and Butthead.
Yep.
Okay, next, Kitty, please. Kitty.
Hi, Kitty Chen. I'm playing Beaufort, Beadle, second neighbor, second gentleman, second royal messenger, and first citizen.
Right. No, but your biggest role is Duke of Somerset. Right?
I thought it was Beaufort.
Huh?
Somerset?
Yeah, Somerset. His name is blah blah Beaufort, Duke of Somerset. Duke of Somerset. Okay. Okay. Derek Tarson, please.
Okay. Hi, I'm Derek Tarson. I'm playing Earl of Suffolk and John Holland.
That's simple. Okay, good. Angus, please.
Angus Hepburn from London, playing the ill-fated Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester.
Right.
A messenger, Alexander Igor, and Butcher / Derek, because it's Derek the Butcher, and there's some
Butcher,
confusion
Dick
about
the
that.
Butcher.
We'll sort it out.
Who has the most famous line in Shakespeare? You'll be
Of
hearing it
course.
later. Okay. Eleanor,
It's Alexander Iden.
Yeah,
Iden, that's what it is.
That's
I
right.
don't have my list of characters. I was trying to remember the name.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Nika. Hi, Nika.
Hi, everyone. So happy to see everybody. Hello. I've missed you all so much. So I'm excited to do Shakespeare again. I am doing, I'm so excited. I have so many roles today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have Earl of Warwick, Richard Neville. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. And I apologize in advance if I mispronounced it. Neville. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Clerk of Chatham and a post.
Jackie, please.
Me? Okay. I'm Jacqueline Margolius, and I'm here in New York City. Okay. I'm playing the Earl of Salisbury, Father John, the first petitioner, the mayor, the sheriff, William, which is somebody's brother, whatever, and Kane, a messenger, and somebody else. They just assigned me, but I will find it.
Yeah, you're busy as heck. You're going to be using a lot of different hats. Okay. And Victoria.
Hi, peace be with you. My name is Nai Victoria. I am playing Eleanor of Duchess, also Simcox's wife, Smith the Weaver, and a royal messenger.
Yep. All right. And Brian, please.
Brian White. I'll be playing Marjorie Jourdain, the witch, Peter, Jack Cade, and I believe young Clifford.
Yeah, and then he is simply called Clifford. Wait, it's really no. He is Clifford, right? But then after Lord Clifford, old Clifford, same dude, gets killed.
Okay.
He's called Clifford because he's the only Clifford left.
Okay.
That's it all in like beginning of Act 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right, that is everybody, I believe. Yeah, that's everybody. Okay, good. So without further
See if Ken can come in.
Oh, Ken, I'm sorry. Thank you. Ken, please.
He looks still frozen.
He's still frozen, yeah.
Oh, I should have grabbed him while he was unfrozen.
No, his sound was bad. He's got a bad internet connection.
Maybe he'll have to come
sound
back
was
in.
drifting
Ken,
in and
if
out.
you can hear us, Ken, maybe you should leave and come back in.
You should restart your computer before you come back in.
Yeah.
That can make a difference.
Well, anyway, Kenny's playing Cardinal Beaufort and a couple other little things I forget.
I'm playing Beaufort.
No, you guys are cousins.
Oh.
You're Beaufort, Duke of Somerset, Kitty.
Yeah, you're all in the Beaufort family. Okay, so
why, Tony? Why do you have your hand raised?
I don't have my hand raised.
You do.
All right, well, we need to get
on
started.
Your image.
We know to
No, I
get started,
don't.
please. If Kenny can't
Showing up.
materialize, who can please step in for Cardinal until he does?
I can.
You can. All right. Thank you, Eleanor. Thank you very much. All right. I, meanwhile, do not have the PDF up, and let me get it now.
Tony, you do have your hand raised.
Look, I am looking at my own image. I do not have my hand raised.
I'm looking at your image and your hand is showing. Now it's gone.
Now it's gone. Now
It's not the biggest deal. Okay. Is everybody ready to start? Yes?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get underway.
And let's go.
Let's do it.
Wait, you know what? Maybe once in a while I will say a little bit of stage directions. Flourish of trumpets, then enter King, Duke Humphrey, Salisbury, Warwick, Beaufort on one side, the Queen, Suffolk, York, Somerset, and Buckingham on the other. Go.
You're muted, Derek.
as by your high imperial majesty I had in charge at my depart for France as procurator to your excellence to marry Princess Margaret for your grace. So in the famous ancient city Tours, in presence of kings of France and Sicily, the dukes of Orleans, Calabar, Bretagne, and Alençon, 7 earls, 12 barons, and 20 reverend bishops, I have performed my task, and was espoused, and humbly now, upon my bended knee, in sight of England and her lordly peers, deliver up my title in the Queen to your most gracious hands, that are the substance of the great shadow I did represent. The happiest gift that ever Marquesse gave, the fairest queen that ever king received.
Suffolk, arise. Welcome, Queen Margaret. I can express no kinder sign of love than this kind kiss. Oh, Lord, that lends me life, lend me a heart replete with thankfulness, for thou hast given me in this beauteous face a world of earthly blessings to my soul, if sympathy of love unite our thoughts.
Great King of England, and by gracious Lord, the mutual conference that my mind hath had by day, by night, waking and in my dreams, in courtly company or at my beads, with you, mine alder leafest sovereign, makes me the bolder to salute my king with ruder terms, such as my wit affords, and overjoy of heart doth minister.
Her sight did ravish, but her grace in speech, her words, yclad with wisdom's majesty, makes me from wondering fall to weeping joys, such as the fullness of my heart's content. Lords, with one cheerful voice, welcome my love.
Long live Queen Margaret, England's happiness.
We thank you all.
My Lord Protector, so it please your grace, here are the articles of contracted peace between our sovereign and the French King Charles for 18 months concluded by consent.
Imprimis, it is agreed between the French King Charles and William de la Pole, Marquis of Suffolk, ambassador for Henry, King of England, that the said Henry shall espouse the Lady Margaret, daughter unto Renier, King of Naples, Sicilia, and Jerusalem, and crown her Queen of England the 30th of May next ensuing. Item, that the Duchy of Anjou and the County of Maine shall be released and delivered to the King her father.
Uncle, how now?
Pardon me, gracious lord. Some sudden qualm has struck me at the heart and dimmed mine eyes, that I can read no further.
Uncle of Winchester, I pray, read on.
Eleanor, can you check that, please?
Item, it is further agreed between them that the Duchess of Anjou and Maine shall be released and delivered over to the king her father, and she sent over of the King of England's own proper cost and charges, without having any dowry.
They please us well. Lord Marcus, kneel down. We here create thee the first Duke of Suffolk, and girt thee with the sword. Cousin of York, we here discharge your grace from being regent in the parts of France till term of 18 months be full expired. Thanks, Uncle Winchester, Gloucester, York, Buckingham, Somerset, Salisbury, and Warwick. We thank you all for this great favor done in entertainment to my princely queen. Come, let us in, and with all speed provide to see her coronation be performed.
Exit King, Queen, and Suffolk.
Brave peers of England, pillars of the state, to you Duke Humphrey must unload his grief. Your grief, the common grief of all the land. What, did my brother Henry spend his youth, his valor, coin, and people in the wars? Did he so often lodge in open field in winter's cold and summer's parching heat to conquer France, his true inheritance? And did my brother Bedford toil his wits to keep by policy what Henry got? Have you yourselves, Somerset, Buckingham, brave York, Salisbury, and victorious Warwick, received deep scars in France and Normandy? Or hath mine uncle Beaufort and myself, with all the learned counsel of the realm, studied so long, sat in the council house early and late, debating to and fro how France and Frenchmen might be kept in awe? And had his highness in his infancy crowned in Paris in despite of foes? And shall these labours and these honours die? Shall Henry's conquest, Bedford's vigilance, your deeds of war, and all our counsels die? O peers of England, shameful is this league, fatal this marriage, cancelling your fame, blotting your name from books of memory, racing the characters of your renown, defacing monuments of conquered France, undoing all as all had never been.
Nephew, what means this passionate discourse, this peroration with such circumstance for France? 'Tis ours, and we will keep it still.
Aye, uncle, we will keep it if we can, but now it is impossible we should. Suffolk, the new made duke that rules the Rus, hath given the duchy of Anjou and Maine unto the poor King Regnier, whose large style agrees not with the leanness of his purse.
Not now by the death of him that died for all. These countries were the keys of Normandy. But wherefore weeps Warwick, my valiant son?
For grief that they're past recovery. For were hope to conquer them again, my sword should shed hot blood, my eyes no tears. Anjou and Maine, myself did win them both. Those provinces, those arms of mine did conquer. In other cities that I got with wounds, delivered up again with peaceful words? Majou.
For Suffolk's duke, may he be socket that dims the honor of this warlike isle. France should have torn and rent my very heart before I should have yielded to this league. I never read, but England's king have had large sums of gold and dowries with their wives. And our King Henry gives away his own to match with her that brings no vantage?
Proper jest, and never heard before that Suffolk should demand a whole 15th for costs and charges in transporting her. He should have stayed in France and starved in France before.
Aye, Lord of Gloucester, now ye grow too hot. It was the pleasure of my lord the king.
My lord of Winchester, I know your mind. 'Tis not my speeches that you do mislike, but 'tis my presence that doth trouble ye. Rancour will out, proud prelate, in thy face I see thy fury. If I longer stay, we shall begin our ancient bickerings. Lordlings, farewell, and say when I am gone, I prophesied France will be lost ere long.
So, there goes our protector in a rage. 'Tis known to you he is mine enemy. Nay, more an enemy unto you all, and no great friend, I fear me, to the king. Consider, lords, he is the next of blood, and heir apparent to the English crown. Had Henry got an empire by his marriage, and all the wealthy kingdoms of the West, there's reason he should be displeased at it. Look to it, lords, let not his smoothing words bewitch your hearts, be wise and circumspect. What though the common people favor him, calling him Humphrey, the good Duke of Gloucester, clapping their hands and crying with loud voice, Jesus, maintain your royal excellence. With God preserve the good Duke Humphrey, I fear me, lords. For all this flattering gloss, he will found a dangerous protector.
But why then should he then protect our sovereign? He being of age to govern of himself, cousin of Somerset, join you with me, and altogether with the Duke of Suffolk will quickly hoist the Duke Humphrey from his seat.
This weighty business will not brook delay. Also the Duke of Suffolk presently.
Cousin of Buckingham, though Humphrey's pride and greatness of his place be grief to us, yet let us watch the haughty cardinal. insolence is more intolerable than all the princes in the land beside. If Gloucester be displaced, he'll be protector.
Or thou, or I of Somerset will be protectors, despite Duke Humphrey or the cardinal.
Pride went before, ambition follows him. While those do labor for their own preferment, behooves it us to labor for the realm. I never saw but Humphrey Duke of Gloucester did bear him like a noble gentleman. Oft have I seen the haughty cardinal more like a soldier than a man of the church, as stout and proud as if he were lord of all, swear like a ruffian and demean himself, unlike the ruler of a commonweal. O Warwick, my son, the comfort of my age, thy deeds, thy plainness, and thy housekeeping hath won the greatest favor of the commons, excepting none but good Duke Humphrey and brother York. Thy acts in Ireland in bringing them to civil discipline, thy late exploits done in the heart of France, when thou wert regent for our sovereign, have made thee feared in honor of the people. Join we together for the public good in what we can to bridle and suppress the pride of Suffolk and the cardinal, with Somerset's and Buckingham's ambition, and as we may cherish Duke Humphrey's deeds, while they do tend the profit of the land. Warwick, have you anything to say?
So God help Warwick, as he loves the land and common profit of his country.
And so says York, for he hath greater cause.
Then let us make haste and look unto the main.
Unto the Main? Oh, father, Maine is lost. That Maine, which by main force Warwick did win, and would have kept as long as breath did last. Main chance, father, you meant, but I meant Maine, which I will win from France, or else be slain.
Anjou and Maine are given to the French. Paris is lost. The state of Normandy stands on a tickle point. Now they are gone. Suffolk concluded on the articles, the peers agreed, and Henry was well pleased to change 2 dukedoms for a duke's fair daughter. I cannot blame them all. What is to them? 'Tis thine they give away, and not their own. Pirates may make cheap pennyworths of their pillage, and purchase friends, and give to courtesans, still reveling like lords till all be gone. While as the silly owner of the goods weeps over them, and wrings his helpless hands, and shakes his head, and trembling stands aloof, while all is shared and all is borne away, ready to serve and dare not touch his own. So York must sit and fret and bite his tongue, while his own lands are bargained for and sold. Methinks the realms of England, France, and Ireland bear that proportion to my flesh and blood, as did the fatal brand Althea built unto the prince's heart of Calendon. Anjou and Maine both given unto the French. Cold news for me, for I had hope of France, even as I have of fertile England's soil. A day will come when York shall claim his own, and therefore I will take the Neville's part and make a show of love to proud Duke Humphrey. And when I spy advantage, claim the crown. For that's the golden mark I seek to hit. Nor shall proud Lancaster usurp my right, nor hold the scepter in his childish fist, nor wear the diadem upon his head, whose church-like humors fits not for a crown. Then York, be still a while, till time do serve. Watch thou, and wake when others be asleep, to pry into the secrets of the state, till Henry, surfeiting in joys of love, with his new bride and England's dear-bought queen, and Humphrey with the peers be fallen at jars. Then will I raise aloft the milk-white rose, with whose sweet smell the air shall be perfumed. and in my standard bear the arms of York to grapple with the house of Lancaster, and force per force I'll make him yield the crown, whose bookish rule hath pulled fair England down.
Why droops my lord like over-ripened corn, hanging the head at Surrey's plenteous load? Why doth the great Duke Humphrey knit his brows, as frowning at the favors of the world? Why are thine eyes fixed to the sullen earth, gazing on that which seems to dim thy sight? What seest thou there? King Henry's dear down, and chased with all the honors of the world. If so, gaze on and grovel on thy face, until thy head be circled with the same. Put forth thy hand, reach at the glorious goal. What is too short? I'll lengthen it with mine, and having both together heaved it up, we'll both together lift our heads to heaven, and never more base our sight so low as to will chafe glance unto the ground.
Oh, Nell, sweet Nell, if thou dost love thy lord, banish the canker of ambitious thoughts. And may that thought, when I imagine ill against my king and nephew, virtuous Henry, be my last breathing in this mortal world. My troubled dreams this night does make me sad.
What dreamed, my lord? Tell me, and I'll requite it with sweet rehearsal of my morning dream.
Methought this staff of mine office badge in court was broke in twain. By whom I forgot, but as I think it was by the cardinal, and on the pieces of the broken wand were placed the heads of Edmund, Duke of Somerset, and William de la Pole, first Duke of Suffolk. This was my dream. What it bode, God knows.
Nothing but an argument, that he that breaks a stick of Gloucester's grove shall lose his head for his presumption. But list to me, Humphrey, my sweet Duke. Methought I sat in seat of majesty in the cathedral church of Westminster, and in that chair where kings and queens were crowned, where Henry and Dame Margaret kneeled to me, and on my head sat the dear down.
Nay, Eleanor, then I must chide outright, presumptuous dame, ill-nurtured Eleanor. Art thou not second woman of the realm, and the protector's wife, beloved of him? Hast thou not worldly pleasure at command, above the reach or compass of thy thought, and wilt thou still be hammering treachery, to tumble down thy husband and thyself from top of honour to disgrace his feet? Away from me, and let me hear no more.
What, my lord? Are you so choleric with Eleanor for telling but her dream? Next time, I'll keep my dreams unto myself and not be checked.
Nay, be not angry. I am pleased again.
My Lord Protector, 'tis his highness' pleasure you do prepare to ride unto St. Albans, whereas the king and queen do mean to hawk.
I go. Come now, thou wilt ride with us?
Yes, my good lord. I'll follow presently. Follow, I must go. I cannot go before, while Gloucester beats this base and humble mind. Were I a man, a duke, and next of blood, I would remove these tedious stumbling blocks and smooth my way upon their headless necks. And being a woman, I will not be slack to play my part in fortune's pageant. Where are you there, Sir John? Nay, fear not, man. You're alone. Here's none but thee and I.
Oh, Lord, who's playing Hume? Oh, shoot. I gotta call up that chart. Well,
You want me to read it for?
okay, thank you, Tony. Oh, yeah, thanks, Tony.
Father John.
Jesus, protect your royal majesty.
Is that majesty? High but grace.
But by the grace of God and Hume's advice, your grace's title shall be multiplied.
What sayest thou, man? Hast thou as yet conferred with Marjorie Jordan, the cunning witch, with Roger Bolingbroke, the conjurer? And will they undertake me to do me good?
This they have promised to show your highness, a spirit raised from depth of underground, that shall make answer to such questions as by your grace shall be propounded him.
I think upon the question, when they say our vows do make return, we'll see these things affected to the full. Hear him, take this reward, make merry men with the Confederates in this weighty cause.
You must make merry with the Duchess's gold. Marry and shall. But how now, Sir John Hume? Seal up your lips and give no words but mum. The business asketh silent secrecy. Dame Eleanor gives gold to bring the witch. Gold cannot come amiss were she a devil. Yet have I gold, flies from another coast. I dare not say from the rich cardinal and from the great and new-made Duke of Suffolk. Yet I do find it so, for to be plain, they, knowing Duke Eleanor's aspiring humour, have hired me to undermine the Duchess and buzz these conjurations in her brain. They say a crafty knave does need no broker, yet am I Suffolk and the Cardinal's broker. Hume, if you take not heed, you shall go near to call them both a pair of crafty knaves. Well, so it stands. And thus I fear at last Hume's knavery will be the Duchess's rack, and her attainture will be Humphrey's fall. Sort how it will. I shall have gold for all.
Oh, my masters, let's stand close. My Lord Protector will come this way by and by, and then we may deliver our supplications in the quill.
Mary, the Lord protect him, for he's a good man. Jesu bless him.
Here comes, methinks, and the Queen with him. I'll be the first, sure.
Oh, come back, fool. This is the Duke of Suffolk and not my Lord Protector.
How now, fellow? Wouldst anything with me?
Oh, I pray my Lord, pardon me. I took you for the Lord Protector.
My Lord Protector, are your supplications to his lordship? Let me see them. What is thine?
Mine is, and it please your grace against John Goodman, my Lord Cardinal's man, for keeping my house and lands and wife and all from me.
Thy wife, too? Oh, that's some wrong indeed. What's yours? What's here? Against the Duke of Suffolk for enclosing the commons of Melford? How now, Sir Knave?
Alas, sir, I am but a poor petitioner of our whole township.
Against my master Thomas Horner, for saying that the Duke of York was rightful heir to the crown.
What sayst thou? Did the Duke of York say he was the rightful heir to the crown?
That my mistress was? No, forsooth. My master said that he was, and that the king was an usurper.
Who is there? Take this fellow in and send for his master with a pursuivant presently. We'll hear more of your matter before the king.
And as for you that love to be protected under the wings of our protector's grace, begin your suits anew and suit to him. Away, base cullions. Suffolk, let them go.
Come.
Come, let's all be
Let's
gone.
My Lord of Suffolk, say, is this the guise? Is this the fashions in the court of England? Is this the government of Britain's Isle, and this the royalty of Albion's king? What, shall King Henry be a pupil still, under the surly Gloucester's governance? Am I a queen in title and in style, and must be made a subject to a duke? I tell thee, Poole, when in the city tours thou ranst a tilt in honor of my love, and stolest away the ladies' hearts of France, I thought King Henry had resembled thee in courage, courtship, and proportion. But all his mind is bent to holiness, to number Ave Maries on his beads. His champions are the prophets and apostles, his weapons, holy saws of sacred root. His study is his tilt-yard, and his loves are brazen images of canonized saints. I would the college of the cardinals would choose him, Hope, and carry him to Rome, and set the triple crown upon his head. That were a state fit for his holiness.
Madam, be patient. As I was cause your highness came to England, so will I in England work your grace's full content.
Such haughty protector have we Beaufort, the imperious churchman, Somerset, Buckingham, and grumbling York. And not the least of these, but can do more in England than the king.
And he of these that can do most of all cannot do more in England than the Nevilles. Salisbury and Warwick are no simple peers.
Not all these lords do vex me half so much as that proud dame, the Lord Protector's wife. He sweeps it through the court with troops of ladies, more like an empress than Duke Humphrey's wife. Strangers in court do take her for the queen. She bears a Duke revenues on her back, and in her heart she scorns our poverty. Shall I not live to be avenged on her? Contemptuous, base-born harlot as she is. She vaunted amongst her minions the other day. The very train of her worst-wearing gown was better worth than all my father's lands, till Suffolk gave 2 dukedoms for his daughter.
Madam, myself have limed a bush for her, and placed a choir of such enticing birds that she will light to listen to the lays, and never mount to trouble you again. So let her rest, and madam, list you to me, for I am bold to counsel you in this. Although we fancy not the cardinal, yet we must we join with him and with the lords, till we have brought Duke Humphrey in disgrace. As for the Duke of York, this late complaint will make but little for his benefit. So one by one we'll weed them all at last, and you yourself shall steer the happy helm.
And Suffolk exits. A trumpet sounds. The King, Duke Humphrey, the Cardinal, Buckingham, York, Salisbury, Warwick, and the Duchess enter.
For my part, noble lords, I care not which, or Somerset or York, all's one to me.
If York hath ill-demeaned himself in France, then let him be denied the regentship.
Somerset.
If Somerset be unworthy if Somerset be unworthy of the place, let York be regent. I will yield to him.
Whether your grace be worthy, yeah or no, dispute not that. York is the worthier.
Ambitious, what let thy better speak?
The cardinal's not my better in the field.
All in this presence are thy betters, Warwick.
Warwick may live to be the best of all.
Oh, peace, son, and show some reason. Buckingham, why Somerset should be preferred in this?
Because the king, forsooth, will have it so.
Madam, the king is old enough himself to give his censure. These are no women's matters.
If he be old enough, what needs your grace to be protector of his excellence?
Madam, I am protector of the realm, and at his pleasure will resign my place.
Resign it then, and leave thine insolence, since thou wert king, as Who is king but thou? The commonwealth hath daily run to wrack. The dolphin hath prevailed beyond the seas, and all the peers and nobles of the realm have been as bondmen to thy sovereign.
The commons hast thou racked. The clergy's bags are linked, lank and lean with thy extortions.
Thy sumptuous buildings and thy wives' attire have cost a mass of public treasury.
Thy cruelty and execution on offenders hath exceeded law, and left thee to the mercy of the law.
Thy sale of offices and towns in France, if they were known, as the suspect is great, would make thee quickly hop without thy head. Oh. My fan. What? Wait, just a second.
I've lost my place. What page are we?
I forgot about this one important aspect.
Page 24, Kitty.
Yes, I know. There, give me my fan. What, minion? Canst thee not? Oh, I cry you mercy, madam. Was it you? Sorry, Eleanor.
Was it I? Yeah, it was, proud Frenchwoman. Could I come near your beauty with my nails? I could set my 10 commandments in your face.
The sweet aunt, be quiet. 'Twas against her will.
Against her will, good king. Look to it in time. She'll hamper thee and dandle thee like a baby. Though in this place most master wear no breeches. She not strike Dame Eleanor unrevenged.
Eleanor exits.
Lord Cardinal, I will follow Eleanor and listen after Humphrey how he proceeds. She's tickled now. Her fume needs no spurs. She'll gallop far enough to her destruction.
And Buckingham exits. Now, lords, my collar being overblown with walking once about the quadrangle, I come to talk of Commonwealth affairs. As for your spiteful false objections, prove them, and I lie open to the law. But God in mercy so deal with my soul, as I in duty love my king and country. But to the matter that we have in hand, I say my sovereign York is meetest man to be your regent in the realm of France.
Before we make election, give me leave to show some reason of no little force that York is the most unmeet of any man.
York,
Tony.
I'm looking.
but very bottom of 25.
I'll tell thee, Suffolk, why I am unmeet. For that I cannot flatter thee in Paris. Next, if I be appointed for the place, my lord of Somerset will keep me here without discharge, money or furniture, till France be won to the Dolphin's hands. Last time I danced attendance on his will, till Paris was besieged, famished, and lost.
That can I witness. In a foul fact, did never traitor in the land commit.
Peace, headstrong Warwick.
Image of pride, why should I hold my peace?
An armorer and his man enter.
Because here is a man accused of treason. Pray God the Duke of York excuse himself.
Doth any man accuse York for a traitor?
What meanest thou, Suffolk? Tell me, what are these?
Please, your majesty, this is the man that doth accuse his master of high treason. His words were these, that Richard, Duke of York, was rightful heir unto the English crown, and that your majesty was an usurper.
Say, man, were these thy words?
And it shall please your majesty, I never said nor thought any such matter. God is my witness. I am falsely accused by the villain.
By these 10 bones, my lords, he did speak them to me in the garret one night, as we were scouring my lord of York's upper.
Base dunghill villain and mechanical, I'll have thy head for this thy traitor speech. I do beseech your royal majesty, let him have all the rigor of the law.
Alas, my lord, hang me if ever I spake the words. My accuser is my prentice, and when I did correct him for his fault the other day, he did vow upon his knees he would be even with me. I have good witness of this. Therefore, I beseech your majesty, do not cast away an honest man for a villain's accusation.
Uncle, what shall we say to this in law?
This doom, my lord, if I may judge, let Somerset be regent or the French, because in York this breeds suspicion. And let these have a day appointed them for single combat in a convenient place, for he hath witness of his servant's malice. This is the law, and this Lord Humphrey's doom.
I humbly thank your royal majesty.
And I accept the combat willingly.
Alas, my lord, I cannot fight. For God's sake, pity my case. The spite of man prevaileth against me. O Lord, have mercy upon me. I shall never be able to fight a blow. O Lord, my heart.
Sir, you must fight or else be hanged.
Away with them to prison, and the day of combat shall be the last of the next month. Come, Somerset, we'll see thee sent away.
Flourish of trumpets, and they all exit. Act 1, Scene 4, enter the witch and 2 priests with Bolingbroke.
Come, my masters, the Duchess, I tell you, expects performance of your promises.
Master Hume, we are therefore provided. Will her ladyship behold and hear our exorcisms?
I would answer, spare you not her courage.
I have heard her reported to be a woman of an invincible spirit. But it shall be convenient, Master Hume, that you be by her aloft while we be busied below. And so I pray you be gone in God's name and leave us.
Priest Hume exits.
Mother Jordan, be you prostrate and grovel on the earth. On Southwell read you, and let us do our work.
Eleanor enters above.
Well said, my masters, and welcome all to this year. The sooner, the better.
Patience, good lady, wizards know their times. Deep night, dark night, the silent of the night, the time of night when Troy was set on fire, the time when screech owls cry and band dogs howl and spirits walk and ghosts break up their graves. That time best fits the work we have in hand. Madam, sit you and fear not. Whom we raise, we will make fast within a hallowed verge.
The ceremonies begin. Bolingbroke reads.
Conjuro te diante de Deus.
Ad sum.
Marv, by the eternal God, whose name and power thou tremblest at, answer that I shall ask, for till thou speak, thou shalt not pass from hence.
Ask what thou wilt, that I have said and done.
First of the king, what shall of him become?
The Duke yet lives, that Henry shall depose, but him outlive and die a violent death.
What fate await the Duke of Suffolk?
By water shall he die and take his end.
What shall befall the Duke of Somerset?
Let him shun castles. Safer shall he be upon the sandy plains than where castles mounted stand. Have done, for more I hardly can endure.
Descend into darkness, and the burning lake, false fiend, avoid.
More thunder and lightning as the spirit exits. The Duke of York, the Duke of Buckingham, and their guard enter.
Lay hands upon these traitors and their trash. Beldam, I think we watched you at an inch. What, madam, are you there? The king and commonweal are deeply indebted for this peace of pains. My lord protector will, I doubt it not, see you well good and for these good deserts.
Not half so bad a sign to England's king, injurious duke, that threatens with no cause.
Buckingham. Eleanor.
Eleanor.
Buckingham. Oh, true, madam.
No, madam, not at all. We'll call you this. Away with them. Let them be clapped up close and kept asunder. You, madam, shall with us. Stafford, take her to thee. We'll see your trinkets here, all forthcoming, all away.
Lord Buckingham, methinks you watched her well. A pretty plot, well chosen to build upon. Now pray, my lord, let's see the devil's writ. What have we here? The Duke yet lives, that Henry shall depose, but him outlive and die a violent death. Why, this is just. Io aesida Romanos vincere posso. Well, to the rest. Tell me what fate awaits the Duke of Suffolk. By water shall he die and take his end. What shall betide the Duke of Somerset? Let him shun castles. Safer shall he be upon the sandy plains than where castles mounted stand. Come, come, my lords, these oracles are hardly attained and hardly understood. The king is now in progress towards St. Albans, with him the husband of this lovely lady. Thither goes these news, as fast as horse can carry them. A sorry breakfast for my lord protector.
Your grace shall give me leave, my lord of Europe, to be the post in hope of his reward.
At your pleasure, my good lord. Who's within there? Ho!
A serving man enters.
Invite my lords of Salisbury and Warwick to sup with me tomorrow night. Away!
He exits. At 2, Scene 1, enter the king, the queen, protector, cardinal, and Suffolk with Faulkner's hallowing.
Me lords, for flying at the brook, I saw not better sport this year's day. Yet by your leave, the wind was very high, and 10 to 1 old Joan had not gone out.
But what a point, my lord, your falcon made, and what a pitch she flew above the rest, to see how God in all his creatures works. Yea, man and birds are fain of climbing high.
Oh, no marvel, and it is like your majesty. My lord protector's hawks do tower so well. They know their master loves to be aloft, and bears his thoughts above the falcon pit.
My lord, 'tis but a base ignoble mind that mounts no higher than a bird can soar.
I thought as much. He would be above the clouds.
Aye, my lord cardinal, how think you by that? Were it not good your grace could fly to heaven?
Oh, the treasury of everlasting joy.
Thy heaven is on earth. Thine eyes and thoughts beat on a crown, the treasure of thy hearts, pernicious protector, dangerous peer, that smooths it so with king and commonweal.
What, cardinal? Is your priesthood grown peremptory? Tantane animus colestibus ire. Churchmen so hot? Good uncle, hide such malice with such holiness. Can you do it?
No malice, sir, no more than well becomes so good a quarrel and so bad a peer.
As who, my lord?
Why, as you, my lord, and it like your lordly lord's protectorship.
Why, Suffolk, England knows thy insolence.
And thy ambition, Gloucester?
I prithee, Peace, good queen, and whet not on these furious peers, for blessed are the peacemakers on earth.
Let me be blessed for the peace I make against this proud protector with my sword.
Faith, holy uncle, would to work come to that.
Marry when thou darest.
Make up no factious numbers for the matter in thine own person. Answer thy abuse.
I, where thou darest not peep, and if thou darest, this evening on the east side of the grove.
How now, my lords?
Believe me, cousin Gloucester, had not your man put up the fowl so suddenly, we had had more sport come with thy two-hand sword.
True, uncle. Are ye advised the east side of the grove? Cardinal, I am with you.
Why, how now, Uncle Gloucester?
Oh, talking of hawking, nothing else, my lord. Now, by God's mother priest, I'll shave your crown for this, or all my fence shall fail.
Medice tape sum, protector, see to it well, protect yourself.
The winds grow high, so do your stomachs, lords. How irksome is this music to my heart. When such strings jar, what hope of harmony? I pray, my lords, let me compound this strife.
A miracle. A miracle.
What means this noise?
A miracle.
Fellow, what miracle dost thou proclaim?
A miracle. A miracle.
Come to the king and tell him what miracle.
Forsooth, a blind man at St. Alban's shrine within this half hour hath received his sight, a man that never saw in his life before.
Oh, now God be praised that to believing souls gives light in darkness, comfort in despair.
Enter the mayor of St. Albans with his brethren, bearing a man between two in a chair.
Here comes the townsman on procession to present your highness with a man.
Great is his comfort in this earthly vale, although by his sight his sin be multiplied.
Stand by, my masters. Bring him near the king. His highness' pleasure is to talk with him.
Good fellow, tell us here the circumstance that we for thee may glorify the Lord. What, hast thou been long blind and now restored?
Born blind, and please your grace.
Indeed he was.
What woman is this?
His wife, and it like your worship.
Hadst thou been his mother, thou couldst have better told.
Where wert thou born?
At Barwick in the north, and like your grace.
Oh, poor soul, God's goodness hath been great to thee. Let never day nor night unhallowed pass, but still remember what the Lord hath done.
Tell me, good fellow, camest thou here by chance or of devotion to this holy shrine?
Oh, God knows of pure devotion, being called 100 times and oftener in my sleep by good Saint Alban, who said, Simon, come offer at my shrine, and I will help thee.
Most true, forsooth, and many time and oft myself have heard a voice to call him so.
What, art thou lame?
By God Almighty, help me.
How camest thou so?
A fall off a tree.
A plum tree, master.
How long hast thou been blind?
Oh, born so, master.
What, and wouldst climb a tree?
What, that in all my life when I was a youth.
Oh, too true, and what is climbing very dear?
Mass, thou lovest plums well, that wouldst venture so.
Alas, good master, my wife desired some damsons and made me climb with danger of my life.
A subtle knave, but yet it shall not serve. Let me see thine eyes. Wink now, open them up. In my opinion, yet thou seest not well.
Yes, master, clear as day. Oh, thank God and Saint Albans.
Sayest thou me so? What colour is this cloak of?
Oh, red, master, red as blood.
Well, that's well said. What colour is my gown of?
Black, forsooth, coal black, as jet.
Why then, thou knowest what color jet is of?
And yet I think jet did he never see.
But cloak and gowns before this day are many.
Oh, never before this day, all my life.
Tell me, sirrah, what's my name?
Alas, master, I know not.
What's his name?
I know not.
Nor his?
No, indeed, master.
What's thine own name?
Saunder Simcox, and if it please you, master.
Then, Saunder, sit there. The lyingest knave in Christendom. If thou had been born blind, thou might as well have known all our names, as thus to name the several colours we do wear. Sight many distinguish of colours, but suddenly to nominate them all, it is impossible. My lords, St. Alban here hath done a miracle, and would ye not think it cunning to be great that could restore this cripple to his legs again?
Oh, master, that you could.
My master of St. Albans, have you not beadles in your town and things called whips?
Oh, yes, my lord, if it please your grace.
Then send for one presently.
Sirrah, go fetch the beetle, hither straight.
Now, fetch me a stool hither by and by. Now, sirrah, if you mean to save yourself from whipping, leap me over this stool and run away.
Alas, master, I am not able to stand alone. You go about to torture me in vain.
A beadle enters with whips. Well, sir, we must have you find your legs. Sirrah Beadle, whip him till he leap over that same stool.
I will, my lord. Come on, sir, off with your doublet, quickly.
Alas, master, what shall I do? I am not able to stand.
After the beadle has hit him once, he leaps over the stool and runs away, and they follow and cry, "A miracle!
A miracle!"
Oh, God, seest thou this and bearest so long?
It made me laugh to see the villain run.
Go follow the knave and take this drab away.
Oh, Lassie, we did it for pure need.
Let them be whipped throughout every market town till they come to Barwick, from whence they came.
Duke Humphrey has done a miracle today.
True, made the lame to leap and fly away.
But you have done more miracles than I. You made in a day more, my lord, whole towns to fly.
What tidings with our cousin Buckingham?
Such as my heart doth tremble to unfold. A sort of naughty persons lewdly bent under the countenance and confederacy of Lady Eleanor, the protector's wife, the ringleader and head of all this rout, hath practiced dangerously against your state, dealing with witches and with conjurers, whom we have apprehended in the fact, raising up wicked spirits from underground, demanding of King Henry's life and death, and other of your highness privy council, as more at large your grace shall understand.
And so, my lord protector, by this means your lady is forthcoming yet at London. This news, I think, hath turned your weapon's edge. 'Tis like, my lord, you will not keep your hour.
Ambitious churchman, leave to afflict my heart. Sorrow and grief have vanquished all my powers, and vanquished as I am, I yield to thee, or to the meanest groom.
Oh, God, what mischiefs work the wicked, heaping confusion on their own heads thereby.
Gloucester, see here the tincture of thy nest, and look thyself be faultless. Thou wert best.
Madam, for myself to heaven I do appeal, how I have loved my king and commonweal. And for my wife, I know not how it stands. Sorry I am to hear what I have heard. Noble she is, but if she have forgot got honor and virtue, and conversed with such as like to pitch, defile nobility, I banish her my bed and company, and give her as a prey to law and shame, and hath dishonored Gloucester's honest name.
Well, for this night we will repose us here. Tomorrow toward London back again to look into this business thoroughly and call these foul offenders to their answers and poise the cause in justice equal scales, whose beam stands sure, whose rightful cause prevails.
Flourish of trumpets, and they all exit. Act 2, Scene 2, enter York, Salisbury, and Warwick.
Now, my good lords of Salisbury and Warwick, a simple supper ended, give me leave in this close walk to satisfy myself in craving your opinion of my title, which is infallible to England's crown.
My lord, I long to hear it full.
Lord, begin, and if thy theme be good, the Neville's is thy subjects to command.
Then thus, Edward III, my lords, had 7 sons. The first, Edward, the Black Prince, Prince of Wales. The second, William of Hatfield, and the third, Lionel, Duke of Clarence, next to whom was John of Gaunt, the Duke of Lancaster. The fifth was Edmund Langley, Duke of York. The sixth was Thomas of Woodstock, Duke of Gloucester. William of Windsor was the 7th and last. Edward the Black Prince died before his father and left behind him Richard, his only son, who, after Edward III's death, reigned as king, till Henry Bolingbroke, Duke of Lancaster, the eldest son and heir of John of Gaunt, crowned by the name of Henry IV, seized on the realm, deposed the rightful king, sent his poor queen to France, from whence she came, and him to Pomfret, where, as all you know, harmless Richard was murdered traitorously.
Father, the Duke hath told the truth. Thus got the house of Lancaster their crown,
Which now they hold by force and not by right. For Richard, the first son's heir, being dead, the issue of the next son should have reigned.
But William of Hatfield died without an heir.
The third son, Duke of Clarence, from whose line I claim the crown, had borne Philip, a daughter, who married Edmund Mortimer, Earl of March. Edmund had issue, Roger, Earl of March. Roger had issue, Edmund, Anne, and Eleanor.
Oh, this Edmund in the reign of Bolingbroke, as I have read, laid claim unto the crown, and but for Owen Glendower had been king, who kept him in captivity till he died, but to the rest.
His eldest son, sister Anne, my mother, being heir unto the crown, married Richard, Earl of Cambridge, who was to Edmund Langley, Edward III's 5th son's son. By her I claim the kingdom. She was heir to Roger, Earl of March, who was the son of Edmund Mortimer, who married Philip, sole daughter unto Lionel, Duke of Clarence. So if the issue of the elder son succeed before the younger, I am king.
What plain proceedings is more plain than this? Henry doth claim the crown from John of Gaunt. The 4th son, York, claims it from the 3rd. Till Lionel's issue fails, he should not reign. It fails not yet, but flourishes in thee, and in thy sons there slips of such a stock. Then, Father Salisbury, kneel we together, and in his private plot be we the first that shall salute a rightful sovereign with honor of his birthright to the crown.
Long live our sovereign Richard, England's king.
We thank you, lords, but I am not your king till I be crowned, and that my sword be stained with heart blood of the house of Lancaster. And that's not suddenly to be performed, but with advice and silent secrecy. Do you as I do in these dangerous days, wink at the Earl of Suffolk's insolence, at Beaufort's pride, at Somerset's ambition, at Buckingham and all the crew of them, till they have snared the shepherd of the flock. that virtuous prince, the good Duke Humphrey. 'Tis that they seek, and they, in seeking that, shall find their deaths, if York can prophesy.
Ah, my lord, break we off. We know your mind. And full.
My heart assures me that the Earl of Warwick shall one day make the Duke of York a king.
And Neville, this I do assure myself. Richard shall live to make the Earl of Warwick the greatest man in England, but not the king.
Can I just butt in for 1 second? It's my fault. A couple times we've jumped in and done people's parts when they might have been about to do it. Like for example, I don't know if you can hear me right now. The Victoria, but you were supposed to be Sim Cox's wife back there.
Yes,
And
that's fine. It was okay.
I apologize.
Right.
I was
That's okay. Don't worry about
okay.
it.
All right. So everybody give the person that's supposed to do the part a little longer chance to jump in. Okay, no problem. Okay, sorry. Keep going.
They exit. Act 2, Scene 3. Trumpets sound. The king and his state arrive with guards to banish the Duchess of Gloucester.
Stand forth, Dame Eleanor Cobham, Gloucester's wife. In sight of God and us, your guilt is great. Receive the sentence of the law for sin, such as by God's book are adjudged to death. You four from hence to prison back again, from thence unto the place of execution. The witch in Smithfield shall be burnt to ashes, and you three shall be strangled on the gallows. You, madam, for you are more nobly born, despoiled of your honor in your life, shall, after 3 days open penance done, live in your country here in banishment with Sir John Stanley in the Isle of Man.
Welcome is my banishment. Welcome were my death.
Eleanor, the law thou seest hath judged thee. I cannot justify whom the law condemns. Mine eyes are full of tears, my heart of grief. Oh, Humphrey, this dishonor in thine age will bring thy head with sorrow to the ground. I beseech your majesty, give me leave to go. Sorrow would solace, and mine age would ease.
Stay, Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester. Ere thou go, give up thy staff. Henry will to himself protector be, and God shall be my hope, my stay, my guide, and lantern to my feet. And go in peace, Humphrey, no less beloved than when thou wert protector to thy king.
I see no reason why a king of years should be to be protected like a child. God and King Henry govern England's realm. Give up your staff, sir, and the king his realm.
My staff? Here, noble Henry, is my staff. As willingly do I the same resign, as ere my father Henry made it mine. And even as willingly at thy feet I leave it, as others would ambitiously receive it. Farewell, good king. When I am dead and gone, may honorable peace attend thy throne.
Why now is Henry king, and Margaret queen, and Humphrey Duke of Gloucester scarce himself that bears so shrewd a maim. 2 blows at once, his lady banished, and a limb lopped off. This staff of honor wrought, there let it stand, where it best fits to be, in Henry's hand.
This droops the lofty pine and hangs his sprays, thus Eleanor's pride dies in her youngest days.
Lords, let him go. Please it your majesty, this is the day appointed for the combat, and ready are the appellant and defendant, the armorer and his man, to enter the lists. So please your majesty to behold the fight.
Aye, good my lord. For purposely therefore left I the court, to see this quarrel tried.
A God's name, see the lists and all things fit. Here let them end it, and God defend the right.
I never saw a fellow worse bestead or more afraid to fight than is the appellant, the servant of this armorer, my lords.
The armorer and his neighbors enter, drinking to him so much that he's drunk, and he enters with a drum before him, and his staff with a sandbag fastened to it. At the other door, his man with a drum and sandbag, and prentices drinking to him.
Okay.
First neighbor.
Who is
Hold one moment, please.
Page 51.
Let me look at the chart here.
It's Eleanor.
Yes. Here, neighbor Horner, I drink to you in a cup of sack, and fear not, neighbor, you shall do well enough.
And here, neighbor, here's a cup of tonico.
And here's a pot of good double beer, neighbor. Drink and fear not your man.
Let it come in faith, and I'll pledge you all. And a fig for Peter.
Oh.
Here,
Yeah,
Peter, drink
Peter.
to me and be not afraid.
Oh my gosh.
Be merry, Peter, and fear not thy master. Fight for credit of apprentices.
I thank you all. Drink and pray for me, I pray you, for I think I have taken my last draught in this world. Here, Robin, if I die, I give thee my upon and will. Thou shalt have my hammer. And here, Tom, take all the money that I have. Oh, Lord, bless me. I pray God, for I am never able to deal with my master. He hath so much fence already.
Oh, come, leave your drinking and fall to blows. Sarah, what's your name?
Peter, forsooth.
Peter what?
Thump.
Thump. Then see thou thump thy master well.
Masters, I am come hither, as it were, upon my man's instigation, to prove him a knave, and myself an honest man. And touching the Duke of York, I will take my death. I never meant him any ill, nor the king, nor the queen, and therefore, Peter, have at thee with a downright blow.
Dispatch! This knave's tongue begins to double. Sound trumpets! Alarum to the combatants!
They fight, and Peter strikes him down.
Hold, Peter, hold, I confess, I confess treason!
Take away his weapon. Fellow, thank God and the good wine in thy master's way.
Oh God, have I overcome mine enemies in this presence? Oh Peter, thou hast prevailed in right.
Go, take hence that traitor from our sight, for by his death we do perceive his guilt, and God in justice hath revealed to us the truth and innocence of this poor fellow, which he had thought to have murdered wrongfully. Come, fellow, follow us for thy reward.
Trumpets sound a flourish, and they exit. Act 2, Scene 4. Enter Duke Humphrey and his men in mourning cloaks. Thus sometimes hath the brightest day a cloud, and after summer evermore succeeds barren winter with his wrathful nipping cold, so cares and joys abound as seasons fleet. Sir, what's o'clock? 10, my lord. 10 is the hour that was appointed me to watch the coming of my punished Duchess. Underneath may she endure the flinty streets to tread them with her tender feeling feet. Oh, sweet Nell, ill can thy noble mind abrook the abject people gazing on thy face with envious looks, laughing at thy shame, that erst did follow thy proud chariot wheels when thou didst ride in triumph through the streets. Oh, what soft! I think she comes, and I'll prepare my tear-stained eyes to see her miseries. The Duchess enters in a white sheet and a taper burning in her hand with the sheriff and the officers.
So please, your grace, we'll take her here. We'll take her from the sheriff.
No, stir not for your lives. Let her pass by.
You, my lord.
shame. Now that those pennies too, look how they gaze. See how the giddy multitude do point and nod their heads and fold their eyes on thee. Oh, Gloucester, hide thee from the hateful looks, and in thy closet kept up rule my shame, and done thine enemies, both mine and thine.
Be patient, gentle Nell. Forget this grief.
Gloucester, teach me to forget myself. For whilst I think I am thy married wife, and thou, prince, protector of this land, methinks I should not thus be led along, mouthed up in shame, with papers on my back, and followed with a rabble that rejoice, to see my tears, and hear my deep-set groans. The ruthless flint doth cut my tender feet, and when I start, the envious people laugh, and bid me be advised how I tread. Oh, Humphrey, can I bear this shameful yoke? Trust thou that e'er look upon the world, or count them happy that enjoys the sun? No, dark shall be my light, and night my day. To think upon my pomp shall be my hell. Sometime I'll say, I am Duke Humphrey's wife, and he a prince and ruler of the land. Yet so he ruled, and such a prince was he, as he stood by, while I, his forlorn duchess, was made a wonder and a pointing star to every idle rascal follower. But be thou mild, and blush not at my shame, nor stare at nothing till the axe of death hang over thee, as so it shortly will. For Suffolk, he that can do all in all with her, that hateth thee and hates us all, can York and impious Beaufort with a false priest, have all thine bushes to betray thy wings, and fly thou, how that canst, they'll tangle thee, but fare not thou until thy foot be snared, nor never seek prevention of thy foes.
Ah, no, forbear. Thou aimest all awry. I must offend before I be attainted. And had I 20 times so many foes, and each of them had 20 times their power, all these could not procure me any scathe, so long as I am loyal, true, and crimeless. Wouldst have me rescue thee from this reproach? Why, yet thy scandal were not wiped away, but I in danger for the breach of law. Thy greatest help is quiet, gentle Nell. I pray thee sort thy heart to patience. These few days' wonder will be quickly worn.
I summon your grace to his majesty's parliament, holden at Bury, the 1st of this next month.
And my consent ne'er asked, herein before. Ah, this is close dealing. Well, I will be there. My Nell, I take my leave. And Master Sheriff, let not her penance exceed the king's commission.
And it please your grace, here my commission stays, and Sir John Stanley is appointed now to take her with him to the Isle of Man.
Must you, Sir John, protect my lady here?
So am I given in charge, may it please your grace.
Entreat her not the worse. In that I pray. You use her well. The world may laugh again, and I may live to do you kindness if you do it her. And so, Sir John, farewell.
What? God, my lord, and bid me not adieu.
Witness my tears. I cannot stay to speak.
Art thou gone too? All comfort gone with thee, for none abides with me. My joy is death, death at whose name I oft have been afeard.
Where has my prisoner gone?
Eleanor, you've got more lines. Top of page 58.
Because I wish this world eternity. Suddenly I pray thee go, but take